And ding. Made the ding sound so you know
I
we're
can
good.
see thing.
All
Get your weird noise out of the way.
right, here we go. 5, 4. Welcome, everybody, to the 22nd episode of Tech Laundry. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Tertius.
And today, we're talking about internet privacy. We're talking about ad-supported media. We're talking about future foods and stuff. Tertius, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, Like I don't know why, but like I've been limping for the past 3 days. Like I woke up from a nap and I can't put any pressure on my foot. It's weird.
You should probably take a look into that.
I
I'm
don't know
not a
what it
doctor.
was. I'm just like icing it. I mean, it's getting better, but I kind of hope like tomorrow it'll be perfect because I have a photo shoot tomorrow. So I'm really hoping that like it's cool by then. You know what I'm saying?
If you get like a wheelchair or something, maybe you can make more money. Be like wheel to the photo shoot, and you're like,
Dude,
hey,
I was limping around the office this morning. Everyone was like, "What happened to you? Did you get run over by a car again?" And I was like, "I did not get over. Like, it doesn't happen that frequently. Like
Is it-
everyone assumes I get like run over by a car like every year." I'm like,
is it like sore or is it like,
it's just I think it's a sprain, like a very mild sprain.
huh? Did you just have like a bad dream and just like kick something? Maybe
I
I don't know.
don't know. Like no one's in my bed, so I couldn't have kicked anyone.
All right, well that's a mystery. I don't know if that. I don't know what
At
that
this
means.
moment, at this
I don't know if that means.
in this
Hurt yourself while
particular
sleeping.
moment, there was no one in my bed.
Oh, you hurt yourself.
How are
while
you,
sleeping.
man? Chin Shorty, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Seeing my bed behind me is no problems when I sleep there. So I never sleep because I'm drinking coffee right now. Love coffee.
Is that a twin? Are you sleeping on a twin?
I'm sleeping on a twin, dude, because I can't.
Are you
There's
kidding me right
there's not
now?
enough room in the house to bring in my old bed.
Wait, where is your old bed that I slept in for 2 weeks?
It's in the garage.
Really?
Yeah. So unfortunately, it just kind of just sits there collecting dust until I move out. So
Yeah. When is that gonna be?
could be soon. Could be
Could be
soon.
soon?
I might move to North Sacramento area. So
What?
yeah.
What? Is there a
Mhm.
job over there for you, or just for the hell of it?
Just a really sweet deal on a house, possibly. We'll see.
Is it with who was that guy? Your old roommate?
No, he still lives. He has to live in SF because that's where his job
Okay.
requires him. But this could be with Cammy actually. So
Okay. Cool.
yeah, we'll take a look into that.
Yeah.
But that being said, let's smoothly segue into.
you are definitely smooth.
So I'm gonna write. So what? Let me tell you about Smooth. This
Oh yeah, let's talk about smooth. Let me tell you about this milkshake.
Dude. So okay. So for those who don't know, I have been a big supporter of Soylent, which is a meal replacement drink or powder
It's
supplement.
Slim Fast for nerds.
It's Slim Fast for nerds. You could look at it that way. The idea was that an engineer was just like kind of tired of like having to go, like he found food to be a problem for
It
him.
just got in the way of his process. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I have to go to the store. You have to prep your food. You have to have refrigerators to keep. He was like, there's just so many
You have to
things.
cook your food. You have to eat your food. You have to like wash dishes. You know.
And not
Who
everybody
wants to do that?
Not everybody, and you actually had to do dishes tonight, so you can relate.
Yeah.
That's
That's all I did today. That and watch like New Girl.
Is that show still going?
No, I was watching reruns of it. I was just like, oh, this isn't as funny as I remember.
The show's kind of terrible. Maybe I don't know. I don't think about New Girl.
Yeah, maybe I should go back to washing dishes. Anyways, okay, hold on. Quick asterisk.
Yes.
I told Jeff about like Soylent first, but he refuses to acknowledge it. Okay.
I have text messages from my dad telling me about it. So
No, you see, the thing is, I messaged you about it. Like, I linked you to an article from the New Yorker about it, and that's where I first read about it.
If you can provide me with picture evidence, I'll believe you.
What? Okay, I've
And
had like 3 phones since like I like
you'll
told you
back it up.
this.
You'll back up all your
Huh?
messages. I never delete any messages. I have every message since the dawn of time since I got a smartphone.
Really?
I have my
Then you
old
should
phone.
have it.
My flip phone actually like is still in my drawer, like from like middle school. Like I
Are
still have
you a
that.
hoarder?
I just keep it because I'm like, you never know. Like who wants like I kind of want to look through my old messages as a teenager. Like you never know.
Really? But I was
Yeah,
like, I was an idiot. Still
yeah.
am.
But it makes
Bigger,
you feel,
louder idiot.
it just makes you feel better about yourself in the future.
Have you
In the
ever read
now.
through your old like live journal posts?
I have my MySpace posts. Yeah.
Are they awful?
Nothing emotionally driven, but it's just weird to read it. Like, because I thought some things were funny and I read them now. I'm like, they're not that funny at all.
Jeff, the truth is you're not that funny right now.
I'm not that funny right now, but people who meet me in real life, I'm a funny guy. So anyhow, this whole thing about Soylent. So anyhow, not everybody views food.
Oh
the
yeah,
same way.
Soylent, right.
So not everybody views food the same way. But for some people, sometimes you just don't have time in the morning to just have food. So you just have like a shake or something like that. So if you kind of look at it like that, Soylent is a great way to kind of like not have to worry about like having a disabled breakfast, because this is like perfect. It's perfect. It's quote unquote perfect nutrition because everything that we know about nutrition is put into this bottle. Each bottle's 400
so
calories.
is it like okay? So each bottle is like you have to drink what 4 of them or 3 of them a day?
The government says that if you're like a normal adult, it's like 2,000 calories per day. So you have to have 5 bottles. If you're doing this 100%, which not many people do. You have each one's a meal, so you have 5, and it's spread out over the course of a day.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna write about my experiences using Soylent, and I've been
2.0.
2.0. This is 2.0, by the way. This is
2.0.
This is a bigger deal. This is actually a way bigger deal than I was thinking it was going to be, because I've been using Soylent for about a year now, a little over a year, and this has changed the game on in terms of like marketing and how they're presenting the product and how it tastes most of all.
Yeah.
So I'll be writing an article about it on our site, techlaundrypodcast.com, to be posted sometime tomorrow.
Sometime this week. Just
sometime this
before
week.
the end of the week.
Yeah, because I got to edit the show and do all this stuff. So,
did I tell you I actually looked into a low carb version of Soylent?
I think you might have mentioned it.
Yeah, I was looking at like like there, you know how like it's solely open source and like the recipes out there and people have tweaked it and all that. There was this website that like had a low carb option, and you could like it gives you all the ingredients that you need to have, and then you could just put a multiplier on how like what the time is that you would need, and it would order for like all the ingredients from Amazon. It came out to like $80 for like a week or 2 weeks. I was like, wow, that's really expensive.
Well, it's kind of hard to like put a price on. Like $80, you can look at it like that's like straight. Like if you're looking at it like straight on, but I mean like you have to think about like, okay, well, if it's already pre-mixed for me, I'm saving time. And there's the unseen benefit of like health. Like this is what I'm sticking to it. I'll have to like think about like, oh, because I know like for you have to like really plan out your meals when you're dedicated to your diet. So this kind of takes that out of the equation. You're just like, I don't have to worry about what I'm eating because I know exactly what I'm eating. And like each bottle is 400 calories. So you know, if you're like want to lose weight, you drink 4 or 3 and you're good.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was looking into it. I was like, I'm really into the low carb thing, but you know, like it gives you the kind of like nutritionally correct amount of carbs. So it's like, so we'll see. I really wanted to check it out and kind of see if there was like a kind of the Soylent company creates a low carb version of their product, which I don't think they do.
What if I have a bottle I could probably send up to you just so you can give you really like try it, because I think it's
or you can just like visit.
That's so far. It's 2.5 hours. Oh my god.
Oh no.
So far, man. Oh my god. Unless you're paying me money. So anyhow, so I'll be writing on something. I'll be writing on my experiences about my Soylent and Soylent 2.0 in particular. So definitely check that out.
Oh, dude, did you see like the new Apple accessories?
So I did.
Dude, I want them. Okay, you know what? Okay, weird thing. So okay, so they got like the new keys and everything's powered with lightning cables. Like, um, for some weird reason, the Magic Trackpad is the most expensive like accessory right now. Like, okay, so the Magic Mouse is like $70, the Magic Keyboard is like 100, and the Magic Trackpad is like 130 or $140. It's so
That
weird.
is really expensive.
Yeah, like
Although,
for access. Okay, if you buy all three of these accessories, you're basically getting an iPad,
yeah,
like
that's
an
true.
iPad Mini.
And
It's
like,
it's it's pretty expensive.
I know particularly people have been really have been really all about the Magic Mouse or the Magic Trackpad.
Yeah,
I've never been a fan of them, but some people swear by them.
I love my Magic Trackpad. I was really excited about getting these, but when I added them up, like added up like just how much they would cost, I was like, geez, it's really expensive.
They are,
I
but
mean, like,
uh,
they do have the convenience of all being charged with a lightning cord, and like they last for a month, which is awesome. I'm getting really sick of like switching in and out of the my Eneloops for my stuff. Like everything I own is like powered by Eneloops, and I'm done like recharging everything. You know, I'm really done with freaking AA batteries.
and they do say 2 hours of charge will get you a month or more of usage,
Yeah,
which is pretty damn good.
yeah, it's
I
pretty
know for sure
ridiculous.
that like, because I'm using a perform. I mean, in terms of like price, I paid $100 for this mouse. Actually,
Yeah,
I didn't pay, but someone got it for me as a gift. But like, it was worth $100. And
yeah,
like, I've been using this mouse for years, and like
yeah.
to be with like, I was so stubborn about my mouse too. I was using a really shitty old like Microsoft like white. I can't. I have to pull a picture of it, but it was like a really old Microsoft mouse.
Is it one of those that has like a scroll? It's like red at the bottom and it has like a gray scroll wheel.
Yeah, it was one of those, except it was white.
Okay.
It wasn't like the silvery gray one, but I've
Okay.
used that one before.
Yeah.
And like as soon as I swapped to this one, I was like, well, I don't know. I couldn't
All
believe
the
that was missing.
things.
So
All the
nice.
things. Yeah, I'm just for me like right now, I'm gonna hold off on buying accessories because okay, if you add them all up, that's like $200 for a set of a keyboard and a mouse, right? It's 200 basically $200. I mean, a little bit less, so maybe 170, something like that. And then you can just buy an iMac, and then your iMac would just cost like $800 instead. You know?
So speaking of iMac,
Yeah,
they
they
refreshed the
did refresh the
2019
iMac line. Yeah, I was
4K
definitely
display.
looking into that.
I know you've been in the
Any
market for a
thoughts?
while.
Yeah, and
Um,
any thoughts from you?
I like the price. I like that it's 1,500 kind of starting.
Yeah.
And you get a 4K display, and
Uh
like
huh.
that 4K, like 4K, buying a 4K monitor these days is already like,
Like 1,000.
yeah, 1,000 for a really good one.
For a good
Even
one.
a monoprice one that's actually fairly solid. My brother owns one, and I saw it. Been playing on it a few.
Your brother seems to have a lot of tech.
He's definitely a person who invests a lot into his equipment and technology, so he has a lot of nice things.
Yeah.
Um, and I got to, and like my dad has the 5K Mac just in the other room.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, it's fast.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard for me to justify something like this because like I'm like, well, my workflow is already on Mac or on PC,
Yeah.
and it's, I mean, PC. That's the reason you also get into PCs because they're so affordably cheap and they're modular. So it's like, oh, I need to upgrade something. Like right now, like on my desk right now.
Have you looked into how you could upgrade the hard drive? What is that?
It's a brand new. This is a brand new graphics card that I have. I'm just waiting to like put into my computer, but I just
Okay,
haven't. But
I always found that so weird about you. I remember when you were like building a computer and you just had stuff. I was like, how are you not putting this together right now?
yeah, I was really busy that week. I was so busy. I was like, I have all this cool stuff I want to build, like thousands of dollars of equipment, and then I just
I wouldn't be able to see. I would just be like, let's do this. Yeah, it's such a pain to upgrade like iMacs, especially like the only thing they'll let you upgrade is like the RAM, but you know, like what the hell? Okay, and here's my biggest gripe about the iMac. The price is good, you know, like performance, the upgrade's cool, like 4K, affordable, cool.
Sure.
Here's my problem. They still have an HDD as the standard. It's 2015 and they still have just a freaking spinning drive as their standard hard drive. and that shouldn't be a thing anymore. It's like that makes me angrier than the 16 gig iPhone.
I think they have like, I mean, yeah, it's true. It does. It defaults with like a 5400 RPM. It's not even the fastest RPM hard drive. So it's kind of a huge bummer. And they have like a Fusion drive, but the Fusion drive is actually smaller than it should have been. They said, I'm reading comments on it, and some people are saying that it used to default with 128 gig on SSD, and now it's 24 gig. So it feels really bad. I don't know why they would reduce storage on something like that, because like it's very crucial that they would.
So it's like really strange that it's just like you have to pony up all. There's no like I'll pay for it later kind of thing. Like PCs, you can like just you can get what you need now, and then later on we get more money. You can get add on to it. But with the iMacs, it's like you're basically stuck with the configuration you choose. There's no future kind of proofing it kind of thing, or like at the very least, planning for the future with it. Like if you buy it with 8 gigs of RAM, you're basically stuck with 8 gigs of RAM.
Yeah, that's how I feel about the laptop. Like the entry line for the MacBook Pros is like $1,300, but you're not going to buy a $1,300.
No, you're not.
You're going to spend like $2,000 to get a good one.
Yeah,
and
because you need to get like the right memory stick. You have to get the right hard drive, preferably solid state.
Yeah, and it surprises me just because Apple jumped on the SSD train pretty quickly for the laptop line. They're like, you 128 gig, like you can't actually get on the Retina iMacs. I don't think you can actually get a spinning drive. You have to start at 128.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like a regular SSD. It's like storage that are like they have their own kind of form factor. Like it's glued into the computer itself.
Yeah, it's really, really fast. I think it's PCIe. It's extremely fast.
Yeah.
I've watched people who bought the new iMacs and see it just render out a video, and I'm like, you did all this, and then it still has like 90% battery life after all that editing. Like,
yeah.
Couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, I really need to update my gear. Like, I kind of held off on the whole buying new equipment. I was just like, you know what? I'm just not gonna edit video for a little while until I have the right equipment because, dude, running Premiere on my laptop right now is hell. And it's just not fun.
One thing I'm kind of disappointed about is that this doesn't have the new generation of Intel processors, which is Skylake. It's using Broadwell.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's like bad or slow. Yeah. It's still gonna be fine. It's just it's not brand new. It's not.
Yeah, and it doesn't have a USB Type-C.
Yeah, I was looking at the ports in the back.
Yeah, so right now, like I'm really kind of confused. So refresh me. So the new MacBook, right? That really tiny laptop. Is that so far the only Apple product that has a USB Type-C? Because right now, you look at the Magic Keyboard, the Magic Mouse, all that stuff, that's Lightning. That's not, like, that's not USB Type-C. The Apple TV, the remote charges with Lightning. Nothing else has a USB Type-C. So it's like Apple's not really committing to that platform. And if you think about, like, product cycles or whatever, they just refresh their like accessories, so it's not gonna be like it's gonna take them like what 8 years to come out with a new one. So where's USB Type-C in Apple's plan? It seems weird that it's only like one product that has it.
I remember reading an article not too long back that they're going to make a spec that will make USB Type-C compatible with Lightning stuff.
So kind of like a how like the MagSafe to MagSafe 2 adapter. You think something like that?
It'll probably be I'd imagine it'd be something like that because they're both they're both kind of different, but they're both very quick in terms of data stuff.
Yeah, they're both reversible. They're both kind of like small little things.
The new Nexus line of phones use USB Type-C.
Yeah, like everyone else, it's like standard now. Like a lot of flagships and all that have USB Type-C. The Google Pixel, the Pixel C, the Nexus phones, probably Samsung in the future, HTC in the future.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean it's a given. Everybody will adopt it as new standard, but
Yeah.
because they've gained things like quick charging, like because USB Type C has a spec that allows it to push more wattage into
Yeah.
the battery, it can charge so quickly. And I talked about this on the episode, how fast they charge.
Mhm.
So definitely check that out if you want to hear a discussion about that. So yeah, good things and bad things about this whole update about stuff in terms of Apple stuff.
Yeah.
Unfortunate on some ends. I mean, we knew this was coming because we read
Yeah.
rumors that they were going to like update it and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's nothing to write home about other than like, oh, okay, well,
It's new. Insides are good, but you know, there's no real kind of groundbreaking reason to buy it other than, oh, you can update if you want to.
yeah.
Also 4K.
Also Force Touch. At least the multi-touch surface has Force Touch now.
Yeah, that's why I figured that the Magic Trackpad 2 would be the most expensive one because it has the technology.
Do you happen to know if it has like the haptic feedback or taptic feedback inside of the?
I actually don't know.
That would be really cool if it had.
That'd be interesting.
I love that. I do like the fact that it's literally just a square piece of glass and you just touch it.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's white now. It's to match with the other accessories that are just pure silver, like the one I have. Yeah. So just pure silver.
Oh yeah, that's right. Huh. Well, there you have it, folks. It's a small update from Apple. If that's your thing, some people swear by it, some people don't.
And I kind of want one, but I kind of wish I could upgrade to upgrade the RAM later and the hard drive later, but that's not a possibility.
Yeah. So
except I'm pretty sure I can upgrade the RAM. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's one of the few things you can upgrade.
I think so. I don't know. I think people are talking about whether or not you can upgrade it. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so
yeah.
In the spirit, actually, there's no spirit of it at all. Well, actually, in the spirit, I guess there's a little bit about it. So with the with done of iOS 9 and the fact that iOS 9 will integrate add-ons for blocking ads.
Yeah, content blockers. You've got stuff like, ad blocker. You've got stuff like Crystal. You got, I have actually a couple of them on my phone.
Yeah. So what's been your experience with this?
Okay. I've been kind of like, at first I was like, I'm loving the experience of not having any ads, but actually it blocks some things that I actually want to see. Like I browse through like journalismjobs.com often. And when I look through some of the listings, you don't see like the descriptions of the listings for some weird reason. And I feel like that's because of the ad blocker. But like when you read articles and stuff like that, the experience is so much better. Like you see like, the little gap or like a line where it says, ad here or something. And you're like, okay, this is working. It's great. But yeah, no, I mean, it's been kind of weirdly hit or miss. Like it blocks some things that it shouldn't. Some content is missing, but I would say like it's like 80% accurate to what I would want it to do.
Do you happen to know if it blocks ads on YouTube?
You know what? No, it does not.
Does not. Okay.
It doesn't. Like, cause I actually, it's weird. I see more ads on YouTube now more than ever.
Really?
Like, I don't know why. I just notice it more now. Like, I think it's because my work computer is Firefox, and it does not have an ad block software on there. And yeah, the YouTube thing, it's not affected by the content blocker. Because remember, content blocker is specifically for Safari.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a Safari type thing. So yeah, I mean, I love Safari. It's a good browser. Like I prefer it to Chrome, which was it'll kill your battery.
Yeah, that's true. And I want to love Safari, but I'm so ingrained with like
the Google stuff.
Chrome knows all like everything. Like it knows. Oh, Speaking of content blocking, okay, so like everybody has definitely like been to like a website where like it's been insanely unoptimized for like mobile, and they don't even like try to make it browsable with ads and stuff. Like sometimes like the ads will be like the X to click it off is like tiny, and you try to peck at it and like clicks the ad instead and opens up a new tab.
I feel like that's a tactic, not like a design flaw. It's like we're gonna leave this in because people are gonna freaking press the ad.
It's so stupid, and like one of the biggest things that like people who write ad blockers write them because they want the ad industry to change. They're saying like, we won't like view any of your ads and give you money, because the way that you need to cater to us as like for ads. So you need to make your ads like reasonable. You need to make them not obnoxious and like, something that actually caters to my interest rather than just being like some crazy bullshit. And thrown in this, freaking autoplay videos are the worst thing ever. Like I'm on International Business Times. Like I've been on the site for like, the last like half hour, and I paused and muted this video 3 or 4 times, and it automatically just plays. Like it's muted, it's just sitting there. I'm in another tab, and then it just starts playing again, like every 10 minutes or so. It drives me crazy. It's the
Jeff,
worst.
you have like the lamest problems ever.
It stresses me out. It's not easy being me.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned, like the whole you have to like do your content for us, but like there's a weird way I've been noticing a lot more that like ads are sneaking through my my ad blocker on my Safari on my computer. I've been seeing more and more ads like on YouTube and all that, and I did some research on it. It was just because, and one of the things is that they have something called a whitelist. Have you heard of this?
Yes.
Like things that they wouldn't block and all that. And they're charging company, websites that are big enough to a fee so that they'll be a whitelisted, so they'll still be able to pay an ad. So so the thing is, it's kind of like a pay to play system now. It's no longer for the people. It's who has the most money that they can pay to be whitelisted.
And there's different there's different ones. There's AdBlock Plus and AdBlock Pro, I think, the 2 biggest ones. And there's a few of them that like Google says like, I'll give you X money if you let our ads through.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes it's fine. It really depends on what their goal is, because if their goal is to block all ads, they failed.
Yeah.
But if their goal is to make it so that we'll take your money and we'll let your ad through if it meets the guidelines for what's reasonable in terms of what makes a good ad, I think that's fine, because that tells people like, hey, we need to up our game and like really start looking at not making ads that are terrible.
Yeah.
And like play sounds and do all this.
See, but like, okay, that kind of stuff is so relative to me. Like, what's terrible? Like, I hate video ads. I hate them in front of like YouTube videos. So for me, every video ad, no matter what the content is terrible.
I think there has to be something reasonable. It's just like they like sometimes like there has to be like, if you want to click out of like an ad, or like there can't be like the screen goes like dark and they put a layer and like it's like, oh, subscribe now or whatever, and it's like click out of it or something like that. I think those things are obnoxious. Those are like obstructive. Mm-hmm. Something that's like unobstructive. Like if it's a banner ad on the right or something that can't flash, like they should have like certain.
Like just purely text-based ones that are clearly labeled that it's an ad.
Yeah, that's fine. And like, or if you go to like a download site and like there's like a million things on that site that say like download now, and you can't figure out which one's the actual download link. You have to like hover over it to see where it goes. Like those should definitely be banned. So
see, like, that's the thing. It's like you're arguing towards what would make ads effective. You would want it to be not flashy or like interesting to look at. You would want it to blend in with the background, which completely negates the purpose of having ads to begin with.
I mean, well, like there's also like, I mean, do ads work at all? Like, I mean, we believe that they work for the most part. And
I think it's like a more of a subliminal kind of like thing. Like you see the word enough that like it becomes part of your consciousness. Like the whole Uber thing. I was talking to my Uber driver and they're like, yeah, you really, Lyft is a better company. This is his words. Like it's a better company. Like it pays better or whatever. But the problem is like the word Uber has so gotten into our like society that it's become a verb and people like are just using it now just because people like kind of remember it and kind of recognize it. Yeah,
and that's stuff that you can't figure out how they did. I mean, you can't really like, money can't really buy that as far as I know. It just happens.
Well, I mean, it's all about exposure. You expose yourself as much as you can, people will remember you.
But I think there just needs to be a guideline for how ads should be presented on the web, because I think anything that's flashy, like that was 90s and like millennial
90s,
stuff,
early 2000s,
all that shit should
pornography
just be like,
sites.
2015, we have all this data on like our usage and stuff. there should be like very relevant ads to what I want to see.
Yeah.
Like there has been times where I actually clicked on an ad or like a Google search that was like represented as an ad, and I
Yeah.
clicked that first over all the other search items.
Yeah, I've clicked on ads before too, like because Amazon knows my search history and like showed me, oh, offer on like a certain lens or whatever, and I've clicked it. So I get like there is like super targeted ads do work on certain kinds of people, but I feel like ads are awful because one, you're using the web on your phone, right? Most of the time,
Yeah.
ads use up your data. They use your data to be loaded into your browsing thing. So it's like it's being imposed on you. You're paying for your time on the internet, but they're using up your time too. That's why the content blocker was such a cool thing for me because like I've seen my usage of like data go down significantly because it doesn't show all the ads.
I didn't think of that approach, but that is also true. And some people have think that there should be like a subscription fee to the internet or something.
I would be really into that actually. If I got to pay $5 per ad free experience, I would. I've purchased apps because I really don't want like ads. Like I'd pay like the little fee. Like I don't care. Just as long as I get the purest version of the experience I'm supposed to. I feel like that premium is worth it in the end. I don't like the whole freemium system that like oh it's free but then you see a bunch of ads. That's intrusive and that's annoying and it takes up data. That's why I like content blockers. But like the whole whitelist thing is really kind of like it's just them leeching off the bigger companies to be able to make their own money. You know what I mean? They're just like they're being like the gatekeepers to the internet kind of thing.
True, but I mean, if you're put in their position where like you're you make this add-on that makes no money, and in fact it makes opposite of that because you're stopping everybody else from making money, and then Google like says like, hey, we'll give you like X million dollars to let like these ads through.
Yeah.
Would you like? I would have.
Well, yeah. That's the thing. That's the business model. I mean, I'm not questioning the whole capitalistic idea of it. Like, we've created this really great software that people use, but we can let you have like a back door to people's computers if you pay a fee. I get the idea. Like, of course, everything like boils down to money and everything, but I feel like I would rather go for the per month like browser because I really hate the fact that it just gets in the way of the experience. Like I'll pay more for a premium experience than to be like bombarded by terrible, ugly things on my browsing experience. Like I love the reader option on my Safari thing when I'm reading things because it's so clean. It's great. There's no bullshit on there. I wish that there was a Chrome extension. They just killed every ad, and I would pay like $1 every month or something like that. And I'm pretty sure a bunch of other people would too. Like I'm gonna probably buy the new Tweetbot, and it's not that much better than my like Tweetbot 3. But since I love the software, I'll buy it. Do you use Tweetbot?
I do not use Tweetbots.
It's like a $5 app. Not a lot of people will pay for a $5 app, but I'm like I would because I really like the service. I really like the product. So, I mean, what's $5 for like a really great piece of like software?
Well, the way I do it is that I have I just whitelist sites that I really want to support or people that I like want to give money to. I just give money to, because like I want to support them. But like otherwise, I just keep it up because like there's no reason. So I'll whitelist certain sites that I want to. Because I believe that their business model works and I want to give them money. So there you go. So I think that it should just work. It should be that simple, but it just doesn't work that way. And I don't know what the future is because I know YouTube at the end of this month they put out for everybody who was a big content producer for YouTube or a YouTube partner has to sign a new contract that will they'll basically releasing terms that makes it everybody believe that they're going to be releasing a subscription service for YouTube, which you'll pay like $5 to $10 and you won't be able to see any video ads on YouTube. which is interesting because I mean YouTube is something that I consume a lot of, and as people who are using Google services right now, and which could very well be a future ad supported media, you know, like I don't know, how do you feel about paying a subscription service to get no ads on YouTube?
It's actually a really interesting idea. I haven't really put much thought into it because I don't think I watch YouTube as much as a lot of people. Yeah, I rarely use YouTube. Like, I can't really think of, huh?
Like,
Yeah, I don't really use YouTube that much.
I'm a big YouTuber, and
I use Netflix a lot.
Yeah, like I mean, Netflix is great. Like, didn't they just like make it $10 now for like a month, or is it like 15 or something?
Yeah, I think they went up the price. I think it's like $10 now.
And I think that's for sure worth it because you gain access to all this content. And the YouTube's the same thing. Like, it's free.
Yeah.
But if you want to like, you know, pay subscription, you get like you're giving back to all the content producing, like the people who are on YouTube making things, and you get to like don't have to feel worried about like, you know, blocking ads, because you can ad block YouTube ads, I will say, because and like, oh my god, it's insanely good. Like literally, like there's just no ad, like no pre-roll ads.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works. I think it's voodoo magic, but if you go to mobile, you'll get one like every so often.
Yeah.
Not bad usually. But that being said, $5 make it go away on mobile, like I'd probably do it. It's pretty nice. And if it means that more people get paid on YouTube, because I know if you're a content producer, you're kind of sometimes getting screwed in terms of how much like, because everything's like a numbers game, you know. It's like you get like $10 for like 1,000 views, or I don't even know how much you get now. Maybe probably less than that.
Yeah.
I'd be totally down for that idea.
Interesting. I didn't know like YouTube was gonna think about doing that.
They're going to do that, and then they're also going to launch a separate service that will focus around YouTube Music Key.
Well, yeah, don't they already have like kind of a tab for that?
Wait, say again?
Didn't they already have a tab for like YouTube Music?
They do. I think I don't
kind of like in their YouTube gaming channel kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't think I haven't really explored the music side of YouTube. But what's happened also is that YouTube is how I discover and listen to music now. Not now, but like I've been doing it for a while. It's just, you know, something, you just find something on YouTube, you like it, and you create a playlist of just YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, I've never felt, because of it, I've never felt the need to subscribe to things like Apple Music, which I've let expire, or even Spotify that's free and ad supported as well. I just haven't felt the need to, because I just use YouTube.
Yeah.
So for something I use so often, I would definitely consider paying a subscription to get no ads, if it also meant that, you know, the people who produce like the real content, like people who are like MKBHD, like content that I really appreciate. Let me tell you, that guy.
Dude, you have like a man crush on him.
Yeah, he creates great tech videos. They're really fast, succinct, and they look, I mean, because he shoots with 8K camera, he like goes completely overkill in production value.
Like I definitely like, I dig it. Like I kind of wish that you still lived in Chico so you can set up lighting. Like we would have a third bedroom just for like lighting and like our work stuff. That'd be freaking rad.
It's and like I mean, anything worth producing is worth overproducing. So I kind of like that idea. But with that being said, so I like everything's still rough and tumble in terms of like how are people going to make ads? Because I think in the long run, like the way we've implemented ads is not sustainable, and clearly people, you know, want change. Yeah. And the question is, people have to ask, like, should we pay a fee? Because we already pay. Like the thing is, everybody gets upset because we pay for so many things already. Like we pay already access to the internet. Like, do we really want to like bundle that in? Like that doesn't like make sense. Like they should shape to our tastes rather than us having to pay more to get the same thing. And so, I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. The way I've just been doing is just basically, I
feel like there should just be an option, like an ad-free option, and then, you know, you would just pay the browser. But for me, that's like the thing.
Well, stay in the Google universe. Paying with your body, basically.
That's awful.
Well, one thing's for sure, they know everything about me because, like, I use all Google services. So, Which brings up this other point. Because Google makes money off of you in some way by you're giving them data, they give you free access to their services, which runs contrary to another company called DuckDuckGo. And so this company
what does DuckDuckGo do?
So DuckDuckGo is a competing search engine that is privacy focused. So they don't track any of your search, like your results. There's no like users. It's just you just use the site, and it's supposed to give you results without having to ever worry about you tracking it. Or
so wait, it's a search engine or is it a browser?
It's a search engine.
Okay, sorry, so you can use it in Chrome or in Safari.
Yeah, you just use it like you would Google.
Okay.
It has gotten better over the years. I can't quite say that it's on the same level as Google at all. But there's a recent article where the CEO came out and like kind of called out like Google and said like it's a myth that you need to track people to make money in web search, because they said like DuckDuckGo is profitable as a business right now with just normal ads, just like without having to track people and stuff like that.
Let me ask you a question. If you search something, if you search face on DuckDuckGo, does it give you a face or Facebook?
Let's find out. It shows up Facebook. Facebook is the official site. Wikipedia, Twitter, App Store, Android. Face vocal band. Face the IMDb.
Yeah, it's so weird to me that like these kinds of.
Oh, nice. It's not a bad site. Like I don't know. Like some people really do take their privacy seriously, as you should at least be informed on whether or not, like, because most technologists will know, like I'm using this service and I know that I'm freely giving up my like personal data to get this service for free. And I'm glad that there's alternate search engines like DuckDuckGo that you can go to not have to worry about them tracking you or doing things like that. But at the same time, while they may be profitable, I don't believe that it's anywhere near the profitability that Google is, because Google is insane. So as everybody already knows, I mean, it's not going to be the same. But I don't know. Do you care about being tracked at all? Because I know also.
Here's the kind of weird conundrum I feel about like privacy. It doesn't exist anymore, really. Like there is no way you can be like a private human being in the world we live in today. Like our jobs depend on us being online. It depends on us having a presence online. Like I'm especially like kind of like someone who's in the media, like it's important for me to be online and like give up my privacy so that it becomes a part of my job. So it's a weird kind of idea that I have to balance out my idea of like who I am as a human being and like my private life versus the fact that there's a certain part of me that has to be online because that's just the way the world works now. It's like there's no choice anymore. You have to be someone online or else you're no one. It's no longer just like, oh, we're just giving our stuff away for free, but we can stop it. You really can't stop it, can you?
That's true. And it's gotten even to the point where, like, if with the dawn of big data and being able to pull together a bunch of strings to figure out who people are, let's say, for instance, you were going to cancel, or like your phone bill got too high and you're going to call a company to cancel it, or like, try to haggle them down in some way. You'll call them and you'll say like, hey, I'm looking to cancel my plan or whatever. And there are systems in place. I don't know what company uses it, maybe all of them, but there are systems in place that do assign you a footprint score, like a social footprint score. It's like, how significant is this person in their social circles? Are they like, are they people that make a big impact? Like, are they like, do they have a lot of reach in terms of audience? Because the larger that number is, the more likely they're going to give you what you want. But if your number's like 0 or like, very small, they're going to be like, well, we can let this person go, and they'll be like, no fallback because this person doesn't have strong presence online. And like that to me seems like blows my mind, because I'm like, oh my God, that's like, it makes sense, but it also is just like, oh my God, like it shouldn't be that way, right?
It shouldn't be like, it's like they're giving preferential treatment to people who have like social pull, but like if you're thinking about it, it's like I've used that to my advantage. Like I have complained online. I've blasted companies for like shipping me wrong things or whatever, like Best Buy or whatever, because I know they'll see it and they don't want me to be talking about them online.
Yeah, and
It's like, okay, it's giving power to the little person, I guess. It's like in the same kind of weird way, but then the person has to give up a lot of privacy to be able to do that. So it's like it's a weird give and take.
overall, only thing I'm just worried about is how secure data that's being collected about me is.
Yeah.
This includes like the NSA with their whole PRISM project,
Yeah.
which, I'm not generally okay with it. But that being said, I like if they're gonna do it, I want them to have like very strict regulations on how
On
that
like
data is
what they
used.
can use it, like who
Yeah,
gets to see it kind of thing.
because people who've worked in the NSA have come out and straight said like they're like they will pass around data. They're like, dude, listen to this voicemail. Like it's like
Yeah.
crazy. Like and like
Yeah,
they'll listen
they
like
people have like, like I've heard like, horror stories about people in the NSA like listening in on their ex-girlfriends' conversations and stuff like that.
yeah, and yeah, and like that stuff bothers me
Horrifying, right?
because I'm just like that's like so unprofessional and if put in the same position, like that's so tempting. You put
Yeah.
someone who has that much
Well, I mean,
power and like look at
human
stuff.
beings, like I think we all are like susceptible to that kind of like awfulness because you have a lot of power.
Yeah, when you're collecting that much data from all like the big companies, like and all the traffic, like I can't like I mean everything that Snowden says is like it's completely insane. Like you're like I mean insanely amazing,
Yeah.
and like insane to believe, but it's true.
Hmm.
And I don't think we can stop this.
Yeah.
However, I think we need to put regulations in place that
Yeah.
control how this stuff happens. I
Yeah.
could be wrong. Someone might come up and say like I think we can stop it, and
Okay.
that'd be fine too. But
Remember, okay, so going back to what we talked about before, like how we collect ads because, like Amazon or whatever knew, like, how we browsed. We talked about that, right? How, like, I clicked about, like, a lens or whatever because it knew that I like lenses. So that's
yes,
cool, right? But think about the generation that hasn't been without the internet their entire life. Like, kids with iPhones and iPads, right now, who will never know a world without the internet. Every single decision, every single thought, or anything they write is on the internet now. How easy is it to like this is like really big brothery kind of stuff, but how easy would it be to predict like the next few kind of choices that kid will make because they so much about that kid because they've been online for so long.
this brings up a very interesting, yeah, from a marketing perspective. This is amazing because you get to see all this stuff that
Mhm.
you're like, oh, I can predict. Like you just get to learn so much about their buying habits and like what they
Yeah,
do. But at the
yeah,
same time, like yeah, it's true. Like their expectation of privacy is going down because this is all they've ever known, and
yeah,
like that's just the way things like things like Snapchat. I mean, yes, Snapchat's not very public at all, but on Twitter at very least, like I've seen people when I used to monitor Chico State's Twitter account and stuff like that, people would post like crazy stuff, like lots of
yeah.
them partying or stuff like that. And sometimes they delete it after, but when stuff's out on the web, there's no guarantee anything ever like it's just
There's
gone.
the screenshot, man. Everyone
There's,
screenshots.
yeah, someone's got a screenshot somewhere or something's going on, and
Dude,
yeah,
I've been tracking geocodes in Chico for like maybe close to a year now. The things I've seen come out of these like all these Twitter things. It's just like it's mostly kids on Twitter. Like, I don't see a lot of like kind of middle-aged people on the geocode of Chico's Twitter. I see a lot of kids and high school kids, and they're like talking about their problems very publicly, and like like conversation with their friends and like whose booty is so fly, stuff like that. It's weird that that stuff is permanent and on the internet, and like they can see it. Everyone can see it. If a guy like me who can just track geocodes has like seen your tweet, they probably don't know a lot of people like will be able to see what they do, even though they're like a nobody in the internet. It's weird.
um, going back to the Twitter thing, so Twitter has updated their analytics a few months ago, and you can see like really interesting stuff. Like you can see um, a percentage of my audience. So like right now I'm looking offline. It's like interesting. So it's comedy, movies, and television. 80% of my audience has an interest in comedy and movies.
Yeah.
And it's followed by movie and like news, technology, tech news, music. It just kind of like changes around. But I remember looking at like it would you can look at things like what their interests were, and it was like beer and like mayonnaise was actually a listing on there.
I love mayonnaise.
Some people love mayonnaise, man, and it's just it's so interesting to look at the, like really like demographics and interests of people who are following you.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how they put all this together. I know how they put it together, but like it's still like it still blows my mind when you look at it. Things like that. I don't know. I don't really remember where I was going with that, but analytics are extremely fascinating to me.
Yeah.
And when you look at an audience size that's very big, you get to learn a lot about like, oh, well, people that follow me are not really into tech news, they're into comedy. Like, oh, that's interesting. Like I didn't like, why is that?
And then you can shape your message to your followers. That's how you use that data. It's like, oh, maybe we shouldn't be talking about technology, but like, just talking about like Kevin Hart, what Kevin Hart like ate for breakfast today, or something. I don't know what people do.
I mean, it'll even show you stuff like household income categories. Like 18% of my audience has an income from $75K to $99,000.
Yes.
And it shows you like net
the rest of it unemployed.
Yeah. I didn't know. Apparently, I have a lot of people who are rich that follow me for some reason. I'm not sure how they calculated that. Education, like consumer buying styles, yeah, like ethnic explorers, premium brands, fresh and healthy, wireless carriers, like who usually follows me, like occupation.
Could you like put us up online, like on the video thing right now?
Yeah, let me pull it up here. This is like really interesting. So anybody can do this if you have a Twitter account. You can take a look. Hopefully there's no sensitive information on this page. I don't give a shit. So you can take a look. Boom. So yeah, you got comedy, music, a lot of comedy, more stuff like that.
Yeah.
Scroll down. Occupations, so you can see professional, tactical, homemakers, self-employed people, white collars, student, retired, or actually.
See, okay, so here's my question. Where in Twitter does it like say what you do for a living?
That's the thing. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like okay. So here's I know some people put it in descriptions. Like I have the fact that my journal is on my description, but a lot of people don't. So how much of it is from their profiles versus how much of it is just like stuff that they know from like just tracking you?
I mean, probably all of it from tracking. It says like right here, occupation from Datalogic's Twitter partner. So they're pulling from other databases that say like, okay, well, this is the people with the same name that fit the same type of person.
Yep.
Or things that you tweet, also define, because like me, I tweet about tech stuff, the show.
You barely even tweet.
Stuff. I don't tweet that often, it's true.
You don't even Instagram that often. What the hell do you do online, Jeff?
I never use Instagram.
I know, it makes me sad.
I'm just not an Instagram person. I'm more.
You're a Snapchat person.
I definitely am more of a Snapchat person. Twitter. That doesn't mean I don't use Twitter. It just means I browse Twitter more than I like.
Yeah, you're not a creator.
Because some people like post like I have to like mute lots of people on my Twitter feed because they just post all the time. Like it's just.
I post a lot.
I don't see yours as much. I guess maybe other people are overshadowing how much you post. Cause
yeah, I mean, I'm not like a crazy person, but I tweet enough.
So yeah, just an interesting insight. If you have a Twitter account, you can go to analytics.twitter.com and you can check out your own account for what your audience is.
I kind of want to check that out.
So I would definitely recommend taking a look into it. But it's just another thing on this whole privacy thing. Yeah, these things are this data that everybody has on this new generation, and everybody who uses these services is it's valuable. It's extremely valuable.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it's bound to change unless everybody really makes a stand on it. And the thing is, there's not enough people who care.
Yeah, like here's the other thing. It's just I don't think privacy is an illusion, especially now. Technology has made privacy kind of like a moot point. Like everything you do, you're online like your entire life now. You have a cell phone with you at all times now. There is no privacy anymore. It's just what we have to do is make sure that we know what data is being collected on us and where it's going and who's gonna see it. That's the only thing, because we're just data now.
Yeah, that's a good quote. We're just data now.
We're just data now. We're numbers and interests and age, and that's
But
all.
if someone wanted to live a life of privacy, I would believe that there should be an easier way.
Yeah,
Like even with Google, like there's things like right to be
it's called being a
forgotten.
lumberjack.
But not everybody wants to be a lumberjack.
Exactly, but that's the only real way. Like you can, like I've met people who've lived off grid.
And yeah, there's ways, but it's not like normal or easy. And I think there
Yeah.
should be some way of like opting in, like, hey,
Yeah.
I want to have like, I don't want to have these things tracked. I just want to like have these normal. I just want to like use things like DuckDuckGo or. But even if you're using DuckDuckGo, I personally do not believe that the search results that they are giving me are as good as Google's, and I don't know if that's because that they've catered the results to me, or if that's just because Google's search algorithm is just straight up better, which could be both.
I mean, they've been in the game for quite a long time now.
Yeah, they definitely have. So there's no answer to any of these. It's just total discussion on it. But if you guys want to give your 2 cents, give us a shout out. We have a new Twitter account. I don't know if we talked about it. So we're at tech_laundry. Is that right?
Yeah, or tech_laundry.
Tech_laundry.
Make sure to follow us. We're just starting. Like we're still we're on the precipice of everything. It's all very early going. So I think we're both on it now. We're tweeting from it. It's cool stuff. And you can still follow us on our personal Twitter. I'm at Tertius Buffetta and stuff. So what else is going on? Like we still have to talk about whether or not we really do want to start a Patreon.
Yeah, we need to think about that. Let me oh wait, not make a comment sans. Let me change that. Bam! At Tech Laundry. Check that out, guys. Sorry, people who are listening, I just put it on the screen.
Make sure to check out all of our podcasts and previous content on our website at techlaundrypodcast.com. What else is there? So we're on iTunes, we're on Stitcher. Where else are we at?
We're on Acast if you're using that app.
Yep, we're on Acast.
We are on pretty much. I mean, between those two,
we're available.
We're available everywhere.
If
you want to stream us through our site, you can do that. The Squarespace audio player isn't exactly the pinnacle of audio playing. However, you can do it. What will happen in the future is that we'll have an embedded player from a separate host that will go onto the site, and hopefully be better. You can actually like adjust volume and shit. Like, I don't know why you can't do that on this one.
Right? It's very kind of just like bare bones.
Yeah, it's pretty bare bones right now. Gets the job done, but really you should just in general you should be using a podcast app or a different player of some sort because it's better.
Yeah, and make sure to subscribe. If this is the first time you've listened to us, please subscribe.
Indeed. Not all of our episodes are necessarily this serious. This one was much more about
this is kind of like got like a dark kind of sad point. Like usually we're all like really excited with tech, but this is one of our like oof. There's no really good news here.
If you want some excitement, listen to our last episode. I was pretty excited about a lot of stuff. We're also recording this at night. It's kind of weird just looking at it. I'm like, oh, we usually do it in the morning, but now it's like 10:30 here on the coast. Do check this out. A lot of stuff coming soon. We'll be having my piece up on Soylent 2.0, so if you're interested,
make sure to check that out.
Check that out.
A lot of big things happening, you guys.
Indeed. And with that, we'll close out the episode. Follow me at Jeffrey A. Barron.
And follow me at Tertius Buffetta.
And use the hashtag TechLaundry.
For any questions or like ideas you guys want us to talk about next, we really appreciate you guys talking back to us. So definitely give us a shout out.
Indeed. And for that, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.